Hey everybody, Shadow Phoenix here. Welcome back to Vista View Park. You guys have not seen this park in a little bit, and that's kind of what today's episode is about. So I've kind of gone a little bit away from the time-lapse videos for this one, and I thought, you know what, let's just kind of show what we've been doing. I did have a few videos that I was recording to do some time-lapse stuff with, but I decided, you know what, I end up losing them anyway, so plus I'm having some hard times trying to like capture from the game right now, so I'll just do this here instead. So what we're going to do today is just kind of look at what has been going on since the last time you guys saw it and what we have been working on. We'll start with just kind of an overview here real quick. I've already done this. There should be a showcase video, so you guys should have already seen this already. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of take a look here. So this is the entrance to the park right here, and it only comes to like right about here. So once we actually got the scenario editor where we could go in and actually like edit the land and stuff, you can see there's a ton of land, like so much land up here up front to work with. So what I'm kind of thinking, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what I'm kind of thinking right now. So obviously parking lot, I don't know why, but we might as well. And I'm thinking over here on the side, what we may do is kind of do like a ski resort, maybe like a resort hotel, maybe some mountains, some snow and stuff on it, and kind of put that over there in a corner. So it'll be like a ski resort slash amusement park. And there I go yawning again. Alright, but yeah, so this is the entrance. You will notice when I did the showcase video, I didn't actually talk much about what we had. I just kind of like, oh, here you go, check it out, guys. These guys up here, right there, wow, my voice just cracked. These guys up here, they come and they come out whenever the train comes into the station. We actually have the train working right now. There are no guests in the park. I have not opened this park up to general public since I started it. We did have guests in the original Vista View, but not in this version. So, yeah, they're just not here. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look under here. Now there's a few things, ooh, I don't know what happened there. There's a few things that's not done underneath here yet as far as like some of the building materials and stuff. You can see some stuff coming through the floor, some things aren't quite done. I don't know what's coming through. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I'll have to look into that and see why they're doing that. But yeah, there's some stuff done. But we do have lights underneath here as well as a ceiling. I just got some stuff sticking out from the ceiling. So we'll move on in to the floral clock, which was one of the first things that I did kind of build in this game. Yeah, well, not in the game, but in this park anyway. This was the first thing I did. The original version of the park had the floral clock as well, but it had a completely different building for the entry. And it wasn't until about the time that I actually lost everything that I went back and redid the entire front end of the park. So I lost all of that, but I was able to remember how I built it and just rebuild all of that. Did it back when I did this. So the flower clock, though, we did quite differently than what I did the first time around. Now I may go back and like redo the actual flower pattern or something on it, but for now, it is what it is. Over here to the right, we have Steel Wolf. You guys have already seen great pictures of this. I've already done plenty of overviews of that, so we won't really look into that. Let's run up here. I want to try to make this video kind of quick. I don't want to keep you guys hanging for like an hour or anything. We're not doing a whole park tour or anything like that. This is just kind of what we're working on currently and just kind of an overview of what we already have. Wow, there's a lot of music right here in this area. I'm going to have to look into that. I've never had my speakers turned up this loud before, where I'm there, right there. So we got some gazebos. We got our dive coaster. Avalanche right here coming down the main street. We have all of this stuff done in here. You guys have pretty much all seen this. It's not a big deal, so there's really not a whole lot to showcase here. Not a lot to talk about. Let's talk about what we're doing currently in the park, though. So currently, we're kind of working all the way in the back of the park right now. There are going to be some things that change in the park for a while. I got zombies like everywhere. I haven't put in any like staff buildings anywhere, so all of my staff is just like rides, you know. But so our little teacup ride here that we have that I built, and then I put Deladey's fairy tale shops on each side of it. I think I'm going to take these out though. I think I'm going to do my own thing here instead of doing like just workshop stuff. I think I'm just going to take all the workshop stuff out and do my own buildings and my own arches and all of that right here. I think that would actually be the smarter thing to do. So let's jump through here, and we're really going to jump through here quite a bit because nothing is done in this area. I'm at a loss for this area. I've got some plans recently though that we're kind of starting on, which you could see there, but we're going to jump over here. We're going to jump past this section of the park here too with our invert. We're going to head over here to what used to be called Thunder Run. I'm not sure if I'm going to change the name of it or not. The station itself down here, or the queue line building right here, is not done yet. I guess I need to get in there and work on that. It hasn't really been my priority as much as what we have over in here has been. So most of this coaster is an exact replica of what I built the first time around for the first Thunder Run. All the way until you get to after the station flyby. Once you do the station flyby, then you come over into this area. And this is one thing I'm going to kind of show off for you today. So all of this last part over here is quite different than what it used to be. One thing I did put in here though, I did put our fallen tree down where it's kind of cracked there. It didn't seem to work the same as it did originally, but I like it. It kind of works. You can see I've got our railway back here, which I'm kind of tweaking on and working with. And then back in here. So the coaster comes out of the flyby from the station, goes down, comes down around here, comes up, and then it goes into these flyaway sections over here where some quick twists and turns until it gets back into the station. I think it works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Lots more work to do with it. The ravine is also something important to kind of go over here. This is not completely done yet. I've gotten all of that done. Let's look at this real quick. So, again, you guys have kind of only seen this in passing, but I made sure to do some effects and stuff with the water, where it's kind of flowing out of the station. Let's go up here to the station and look here real quick at this, actually. So I did a drain, kind of a drainage pipe, I guess. So the water comes out of that, goes down the hill, it splits right about there, and it just kind of goes down in here into and it pools down here at the bottom of the thing. Now this doesn't have any kind of splash sections or anything. I literally had it come just far enough above the water so it didn't splash. What it does do is it comes around and kind of goes through these ravines where we got to put some more rocks and stuff in. But I did do this. Look at this waterfall, guys. Is this not amazing? We had to do some more work to the Log Flume right there, but oh, that is beautiful right there. You can still see some of the terrain and stuff underneath the rocks and stuff. We'll get to that. None of this is actually complete until it is complete, and it will be on the workshop. But I do have lots of stuff to kind of go over. So we're gonna jump ahead here. Alright, the little Alpine Bridge did make it back into the park as well as the Log Flume from the original Vista View as well. The design of it mostly stayed the same. There are some changes to it though, but at least this section, all of this kind of stayed the same. If you like this bridge is on my Steam Workshop. You can go in there and grab that. It is available. I may have to do some tweaking to it though, but there's our useless worker. Let's take a look at the Log Flume drop here. Some of you may recognize this, and if you do, make sure you comment in the comment section below the video and let me know what what the Log Flume drop reminds you of, what park it is actually based off of. Like where did I see this and use a reference image for? You guys tell me. I would love to hear if you guys actually know or not. Now, let's head across the bridge and into our timber section. I don't really know. I guess this is more like a French kind of area. It kind of feels like, I guess, the Canadian area of Busch Gardens in a way. So I decided to kind of go with the French. I mean, hey, the French Alps. There is such a thing as the French Alps, right? I think there is. So I made this little of, basically it's like potatoes, skins, and stuff like that you can get here. Things, and we also have a drink shop over here as well. My workers aren't working, of course. We got a little patio area here where you can sit and have your potato skins or fries or whatever you got there and watch the people come off of the log flume. You can't really see too much else from here though, which is kind of worse for me. We also have an indoor or a covered patio section as well for if it rains or anything. Let's head down here. Let's take a look at this. Little little things I like to do. We have Pierre's Snowcones. I love this building. Oh, this whole area right here is so good. Pierre's Snowcones. You want to try their new flavor, Yellow Snow. And notice it's located right next to the restrooms, which are attached to the back of the building. So it makes you wonder, where's the yellow snow made from? I don't know. It was just kind of something silly that I kind of did. And I laughed a whole lot when I made it. It's hilarious. So let's go down here and let's look at Ripsaw Plunge. This is Ripsaw Plunge Station. This is where the Log Flume's board at. They go over our wooden coaster, come in right here, come around through here. This log flume is huge. Like, it covers this entire area. Like, seriously, it is so large. It is something I was kind of like, you know what? Wow, this thing might be just way too big. But I decided to just go with it. I was like, screw it. Let's just Disney this thing up, you know? I'm not really worried. In this park, I'm not worried about budget. It's just not a budget thing. This isn't something like Six Flags or, you know, Busch Gardens or anything like that. This is literally my Disney. So I'm not worried about budget at all. I'm just going to build what I want to build and sort of have things work realistically. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that could be built if you had the budget, not something that couldn't be built no matter what your budget is. You know what I mean? No real fantasy stuff. It's just all kind of like, it's fantasy based in reality. So we have a few signs here. We have the warning you will get wet sign right there. I really like that. We also have the sign that's on top of Ripsaw as well, which I was really happy with that too. That came out really well. We have our exit sign, and then we have the queue line. Lines around here. This will be set to a trigger so that when the boat comes around, the water will spray on our guests right there. Hey, I told you, you're gonna get wet. We haven't done the rest of the queue line back here in the back yet, so pay no attention to that. But at night, this whole area lights up so beautiful. Like, I'll come back and I'll show you some of this stuff at night. It is really grand. Alright, let's move on over into the next area. So, I don't really have a whole lot to say about how most of this come together. If you guys watch my streams on Twitch, you would have seen me kind of building most all of this. There's no reason to show the inside of the Log Flume either because it is completely not finished yet. But we have this right here, this little covered building with the planks and stuff I got off the workshop. I'm sorry, I do not know who it was that made it, so unfortunately I can't give them credit, but I am going to give credit by saying I didn't make this part. This came off of the workshop. The sawmill is inspired from a workshop item as well, but I did make this one myself. It's just inspired by the workshop item. But this one, yeah, this whole building right here I grabbed out the workshop. Not even gonna, you know, lie about that. That is mine. Or, that is not mine. Alright, let's exit out of that. And let's go back to taking the UI off. Alright, so over here, there's something about this little splash area here that I want to show you guys as well later on when I actually turn it to night. You might be able to see it in this video just by kind of zooming out here a little bit, and maybe you guys can kind of guess about what I did here. Maybe not. But you'll figure it out once I actually show it to you at night. That's for sure. I was never really happy with how the splashdowns worked for the log flumes and stuff, so I decided to change it up a little bit. We also have some neat little like lights and stuff that kind of hang off as well from trees and things. And I also did custom supports on this baby here as well. Not technically realistic supports, but I mean they work, they look fantastic, and I think these, these would definitely support the ride right there. I just it's not anything that you would see on a typical ride, but yeah, again, I'm Disneying this thing up here. So let's move on over into the next area. Let's take a look at Traitors Smokehouse. You can see our Starflyer way back there in the background, but Traitors Smokehouse was something I just recently finished up. Now this is left over from the original Vista View. I saved this and put it on a workshop before I actually lost the park, so we still have it. I did make some changes to the building, changes to a few other things, but all in all, it's the same building. We got a little, eating area over here as well. Now I like to use the picnic tables, even though the guests don't like to use the picnic tables. They sit at them, but I've never been able to catch a guest eating at the picnic tables in any of the parks that I actually have open. Oh, I missed a spot there on that. But the umbrellas, I'm not a huge super fan of the umbrellas that we got with the picnic tables. They're okay if you just want a solid color, but I kind of like to do, like stripes and stuff, so that's why I kind of went this route. If you guys like these, oh, that is totally out of whack. If you guys like the umbrellas and you would like to use them yourself, they are on my workshop. They are essentially just some art strip pieces. I put a light on it so that they do shine. There's an electrical cable underneath of it, and they are attached to a base so that you can move them around. They're all in their own little building. They're not too difficult to recolor. You just gotta select certain parts and recolor them. They look really, really good. Now here you can this you can kind of point out. So I found a neat way to kind of hide the stone pavements and stuff in here. I like to use this kind of stone path, this like cobblestone path here. I love this, but when you have a gap or something in it somewhere, there's no real good way to hide it. Luckily, I found a way to actually do that. You can use the chimney pieces. See? Place them flat right on the ground like that. Get the colors just about right, and boom. See? You can barely even see that they are there. Unless you're like really zoomed in and you're really looking, and then we could just say, well, this was patched. These things... This whole area has probably been reworked a few times, so it's not a big deal. I did have to use a lot of them over here, so it definitely shows over here. And you can kind of see the line, but again, we're just going to say, well, they had to patch this area up. It didn't withstand the test of time. Now, let's head over here. Now you can kind of get a great view of the train station that I built, which we will get to in just a moment, but I do want to show off another piece of Traitors Smokehouse here, which is our spit roast. So unfortunately it doesn't rotate, but it still looks great. You have the flames, kind of the open pit right there, and if it rotated that would be awesome, but we can't have these things rotate. Now how I did this, you guys can already probably see it. It is a chocolate piece, yes, but I think it looks like a kind of a rib or like a piece of beef that's on the spike, and then I painted the striping on the chocolate piece to a black so it looks like it's seared. I think seared is the word for that. I'm not a cook, so if I've got that wrong, well, sorry. This is part of it. When you get the Traitors Smokehouse from the workshop, you get the little open pit barbecue here as well. So this is all in one piece when you download that. With that, let's head over this way. I wanted to keep this area really open right here so you could see, like when you walked around here, you could actually see the train station. So I didn't want to cover it with trees. I decided to use this tree here. This was the best choice, and I placed it down kind of to the side a little bit. I used the cider press, I think it is, to make a really cool kind of like flower bin kind of thing here. And of course we keep the continuation with these fences all the way around in this area, which are the logs and kind of a fence that I did there. We have the train. Oh look, the train is actually parked here right at the moment. I hope you guys really like this station. I love this station. It came out so well. Let's zoom in here and let's take a few looks at a few things here. So what I did for the front of it here, I wanted it to be kind of open. Didn't want to really enclose it too much. A lot of air for breathing. Sorry, I am recording this live as I'm showing you guys off this. This is not a voiceover thing that I'm doing. I'm literally like recording as I go here. It's after midnight and I'm just trying to get this recorded and I'm yawning. I don't even know why. It does every single time I record a video, I start yawning. But I digress. So I took the fence. Let's take this apart here real quick so I can show you guys what I did. We have ivy over top of it, which the ivy makes it difficult to get the pieces behind it. So we'll zoom in here. This is these fences, as you can see there. Gonna get a good glimpse of them. The iron fences that are in the game. I stacked them on top of each other to make this really cool kind of like grated window. And then I put ivy over top of it as well. There we go. Alright, back to where we were. Got a neat little banister right over top of it, which doesn't actually function for anything because there's no door there, but it still looks good. I like it. I see I did miss a piece right there though, so I'll have to come back in and get this. There's a lot of things that is missing, so we will get to it. Lots of work still to do in the park. Trust me, tons and tons of work to do. I typically do not use the fencing that comes with the paths and stuff, but for this, it worked great, I think. I just decided to kind of quickly do that because I didn't want to... There was no fences that I really liked that would work to do the curves and stuff as well as this. In the end, it did kind of come out pretty good. Now, I also did not care for the fact I have the train station coming out kind of past the building itself, which put the little guy who runs everything, our worker right there, it put him like right here. So I had to figure out, I didn't like it there. It was just like, it was really throwing things off and it didn't look right. So I had to figure out a way to hide it. So I thought, alright, I'm just going to put this pillar, this tower thing here and hide the guy. So see, they're in there, or she's in there. Sorry, that was probably the wrong view for her. Hopefully she doesn't file a harassment suit against me for that. Then we put a light on the end of it. It works. The real reason why this is here, I have no idea why this would be on a train station like that, but it's here in my case to hide that, and I think it works. So I'm okay with it. I did try to do a lot of the interior as well in this, but again, I'm not finished yet, so there will be some more work to do on this. And you have the train kind of coming down through here and comes past our mine train station. So, speaking of our mine train, oh, we're not done yet. So I have a Cosmic Cow sign here. And the reason that is there because this is going to be a park map. So once I get done with the park and we're actually able to make like an image of the park map, that's where this is going to go. The idea of this being that when you come out of the train station, it can kind of give you an idea of where you're at. You know, like a you are here kind of thing. Also, if you're coming into the train station, it will give you an idea of where you can go, like where the other train stations go to. Alright, and with that, let's head over this way, and let's take a look at the Whistle Chaser, which is our mine train for the park. Again, I built this thing, there was certain elements that I wanted this ride to have. And I had to figure out a way to get all of those elements in it. So this thing came out to be 3,600 feet of track, I think, which is more than what Thunder Mountain has, but less than what the Grizzly Mountain Railroad has at the other Disney park, the overseas one. So I'm actually okay with it because of that fact, because it has, you know, it has less track than what that one does. I feel like it could be realistic for our park and kind of works. Now, the elements that I wanted it to have, I wanted it to have this right here, where the train came over the path like this, so I could put in our sign. So we had to have that. Another element that it had to have was this right here, which I really love this on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at the Disney parks. It has this cool kind of where it comes out and kind of does some stuff. Here it comes. Yep. Oh, I think it's moving the day. Definitely got those greased. Now, check this out. Hopefully you guys can hear this. And we'll watch it too. We have a triggered train whistle. That's what that is right there. It's what it's supposed to be. I made this like huge train whistle there. It is made out of one of these steam pieces right here and the revolver for the whistle. And then it's got a steam thingy on the inside of it there. So when it hits the trigger, it sets off the sound and the steam. Let's move on in here underneath the track. And let's take a look at the actual station. Somebody said this station seems like really, really big. I disagree with that. They're like, that doesn't look like it's to scale. And I'm like, it's actually probably smaller than what Mystery Mine is. And Mystery Mine is a huge station. Granted, a lot of the ride is inside of the station, or some of the ride is anyway. But it is, I think it's to scale. I'm pretty happy with it, like how it came out and everything. I love this. I think it came out perfect, so I don't really care where or not it's actually to scale or not. Over here on this side, this is one of Wings and Strings. He is a great builder. And he does these cars and trains and stuff that is just amazing. And this is one of his trucks that he has in a pack that is just, when I was figuring out how I was going to do this station, I was looking at model railroad buildings, and I found one that kind of worked for what I wanted. And it had a truck parked underneath of it in like this loading bay underneath of this thing, like kind of what we have here. And I was like, ooh. And then I immediately remembered that Wings and Strings had these trucks. So I was like, yep, I've got to have that. I've got to have that loading bay like this. In the design of the building, some things changed, but all in all, it came out really well. And it ended up, there you can see my patch job there again. See, now, if I hadn't just pointed that out, would you guys have noticed that right off? Probably not. Maybe some of you did. Maybe not. So we have the restrooms right here that kind of go off that way. And then we have the exit over here on this side. So the ride exit's here. The entry is over here. And it's, you go in, you go through the queue line, it comes out over here, you go up and enter over there. I haven't done a fence yet on this side of the, like the railings yet up there, because I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that just yet. I'm still thinking. So let's take a look at the actual building. And like I said, this is based off a reference photo of a model railroad building that I really, really liked. And obviously I had to take some design liberties with it, but I really like it. I'm really, really happy with this in general. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual ride itself. Now there are some things that are not done on this. I'm not even going to lie, guys. There's some things that's not finished. It still needs work. Like I haven't even taken and putting in a corridor here yet, so people can kind of come through here. We also haven't got done any of this right here. We're going to do some trellis work and stuff right there as well. So let's zoom out, or zoom up I should say, to the track, and let's take a look at the track coaster. Now when I said this thing was big, and when I said there was a whole lot of feet of track, I literally meant that. So it comes up here, it winds around here and kind of does some turns and stuff as you wind down the mountain. And it comes over here. So this is all kind of, as it comes down through here, you'll see it wind around the mountain. It comes over here, and it goes to this bridge. Now, when you're riding this and you're looking up, you're gonna see, oh wait, the bridge is out. Wait, what? How is that? What are we gonna do? How does this ride even work with the bridge out? That's in. Whoa. Oh, I really wish this thing was running right now. Where's it at? Come on. I'm just gonna speed this up real quick here. Here we go. Now watch the train. It is going into the bridge, and remember, the bridge is out. It tries to slow down, but where did it go? Oh, that's right, it came down here. So let's check this out from the inside. It's a neat little thing. This was something I had. This is another one of the elements that I was like, oh, it's got to have this, because this is something I come up with that I really liked. So it drops down here underneath, and that's where it really gets its excitement at, is as it drops down through here, it comes over here, and goes over to this side, which ends up behind the station, where it then goes through a tunnel. And yes, I know there's a missing wall piece there, and some colors are off. Again, there's a lot of stuff that's not finished about this. So it winds around, comes up here. It starts to lose its speed right before it gets into the next lift hill. So it does have 2 lift hills. A lot of mine trains do. So not a biggie. Let's head up here to this one. Once it gets up here, this area is also not finished, but I'm still working on it. And then it comes out of here. Now let's go over here and look. Now we're going to intersect with 2 different rides here. We have the Log Flume, which comes down. It comes up over here. And over in here. And you have like the water wheel and this another mine building and some other stuff. This little shack, I got this off the workshop, and like I said, there's some things in the workshop that I'm going to replace with my own buildings and stuff. When I was building this, I was just looking for buildings that I could kind of get an idea of how I wanted this place to look. A couple of these things are this right here, this little shack. I did get it off the workshop, and I was getting ready to say a lot of things from the workshop I'm going to replace with my own stuff. Not this. I'm going to keep this because I really like how that little building looks. Look at the colors on this. This is brilliant. Like, I tried to make my own building using the same colors and stuff. I tried to paint this building over here kind of the same way. Couldn't do it. It just was not looking out right. So the color variation is just perfect on this. So I couldn't do it. Then we have this little building right here. This also came from the workshop, and I modified it a little bit. And then this building here is also off the workshop, but it used to be like all white. Like literally every single thing on this was white except what couldn't be painted white. So I had to go in and add my own. I had to go in and edit it completely to add it more kind of broke down. It was very sequency, like you could literally see the seams like down through here. So I had to go in and change some of the boards around to different colors, and in the process to make it look more ramshackle, I also had to change some of the planks and stuff around as well to get it more of a ramshackle look. This was attached to it kind of straight off over here, so I changed it. I changed out, it had red rock in the minecarts. I changed that over to gray rock to fit the alpine theme. And then I took the gems that we got out of the adventure pack and put those in here, so that the gems kind of come off. You don't even really see it when you're on a ride, but it's just the little details like that. And we have a little mine up here that comes out. I had to shrink these down too. It was just too tall. It was coming up way too tall right there, so I shrunk that down as well. And that is pretty much everything that we have that's been added to this area. We have our last lift hill here on the Log Flume that goes up. And then we're going to do some more stuff over here. There's still some details to work out, but then you hit the last drop of the ride. where you then will come down through here. You'll go over top of our mine train. That is where all that water is coming from. And then you will go over here behind Pierre's Snowcones and the restrooms. And back into the Log Flume station. There we go. Alright, and that pretty much completes the tour of everything in the area. I'm going to zoom out here to give you guys a great view of what we have. Now, when I said the mine train was huge, I literally meant this mine train is huge. So is this Log Flume. Look at this. Oh, I didn't show this part down here, did I? Again, down here. Let's look at this. Part of the Log Flume down here. I built this little sawmill thingy down here, which I really liked. So basically the water wheel is turned by the water, and then it has these gears and stuff that turn our lift hills right here. So it brings it out of the water and then up into this lift area. And I made sure to make sure all of these gears are turning just the right way as well. It's the little details, right? And then you head up these lift hill and do our first splashdown area. And there you have it. This is our timber zone, like our industrial lumber mills and mining and all that kind of thing here for our Alpine Park. There you have it. I will have some POVs here very, very soon of the Log Flume and Whistle Chaser as well. So Ripsaw Plunge is the name of our Log Flume. Whistle Chaser is the name of the mine train. Those are the two big attractions in this area, other than some eateries and some other things. There is no flat rides or anything down in this area. I was going to put one, but I ended up not having the space, so it didn't make the cut. I was thinking about using the Gears of Fear ride and then putting it somewhere maybe here before you got to this, because I thought this was going to be further back than what it was. I thought I'd have more space, but by the time I finished everything, it just didn't have it. So that is that. Now let's switch off to night mode, because I want to show you guys something. Let's put this to AM, and there we go. Let's look at what I did here. So if you guys didn't spot it before, this is a video billboard of water. Actually, it's two of them that I put in down to the splash effects. I tried to hide the seams there with some foliage and some other stuff to kind of where you don't really see it. It works well enough, I think. You can also get a great idea. Look at the lighting down in here. Let me get that off the screen. Let's get rid of the UI. The lighting down here is almost complete. This is the most complete lighting of the entire park is down here. So my little umbrellas that I was talking about earlier that had the lights on them, there you go. They give a great yellow kind of tint to the area. It works great. Look at that. That is a great view. And look at the background too. You guys can see that. Those mountains are so good. This is one of my favorite things about Planet Coaster is this particular map's the alpine look in the back. Those mountains are just so beautiful. I built this park to have all the rides kind of take advantage of these backgrounds. The coasters will be, when you get to the top of the lift hill, are pointed at particular views. I did that on purpose. Well, let's go over here and let's look at Ripsaw Plunge's sign. It's all lit up. And like I said earlier, one of my favorite views is right over here. Look at this. This is a beauty. Look at that. Coming off of there. The tables over here. Traitors Smokehouse is lit up perfectly. Look at you can see the barbecue pit fire now. That is great. Whistle Chaser in the background, which still needs some lighting work on it. It's not done yet, but most of the area is. And one more thing to show off here, I guess, would be when you're on the Log Flume, The lights hanging from the trees. Doesn't that work so well, hanging from the ropes like that? I think it does. That's just me. Alright, so let's switch off of this. I did the video billboards for the... Let's switch out of those and go up here. They are in all of the drops. All of the big drops have it. I think it's beautiful. I loved how it came out. And I did it down here in this area too with the waterfalls. I would light up the waterfalls at night, except when you put lights on these special effects like that, the particle effects, they disappear. You don't really see them as well, so probably won't be doing anything like that. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to PM. Back to daylight. Oh, that's hard on my eyes. I don't know if it is on your guys or not, but it is on mine. One more thing here real quick. I'm just going to show you something else that I have been working on over here. Now, remember in a previous video when I was building... Oh, game is saving. I was building the hyper coaster. So it is coming together quite well. I have been working on this over here. One of the things is my bridge. My custom built bridge right here. Look at this. This is... Oh, I love this. This came out better than I could have imagined. Once I get the rest of the stuff in this area done, like I'm going to have a river rapids ride that's going to be down in this area, so that's why I haven't really done a whole lot of work just there yet. But the right view of this is just so perfect. It's really hard to catch it, but like right in there. Especially when the train comes over it. Speaking of trains, let's look at my train tunnel. So, I did a train tunnel down through here, and it is all the way through there. Look at that. I'm going to switch off to this mode, and we will go through here. It's a long tunnel, but it's worth it in the end. And we come out over here. We're going to have a train station over here as well. But let's look at the other side of this the tunnel here. So again, tunnel is just fantastic right here. I love that. And I hope you guys love it too. I've been working really hard for about a month on this area. And since we don't have any time-lapse videos or anything, we've done all the time-lapse stuff that all the construction videos I've done in the past are all used up. They're all gone. I got all of them done and was able to complete everything. So now we are just down to, hey, I'm building stuff and then I'm just going to show it off. That's what we're at right here at Vista View. So no, I'll try to do construction videos when I can, like some time-lapse stuff when I can. But a lot of this from now on, I think for this park is going to be, oh, this is what we did. So hopefully you guys like this kind of format. Maybe I know some of you guys like the time-lapse videos, and you'll still be getting those on my other parks. But I think Vista View is caught up so far enough that there's not enough time-lapse stuff to do. So, but I will try to do it when I can. It's just a whole lot easier to do these kinds of videos where I just go in and talk about what I did and shows things off than it is to go in and be like, you know, time-lapse something that took 4 hours or 6 hours to build and condense it down to 15 minutes and then try to talk about that for 15 minutes. So instead, it's a whole lot easier to just be like, hey, let's go into the park. I want to show you guys this stuff. So this is a lot easier to actually do. None of this area is done. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on this. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. We won't be back in Vista View for a little bit because we still got some more work to do. But I will try to come back. I do want to talk a little more about my park tours video. Again, if you guys, apparently you did, you really loved the park tour video that I did for Johnny Cannon 8. I just got a submission yesterday. I think it was this morning for another park to do. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm going to. And we are going to look into that one and see if that one might be the next park tour video. But if you guys have a park If it is a somewhat realistic park and pretty much complete, like if you feel it's complete enough to show off, send it over my way. Send it to Shadow Phoenix, same as my YouTube name, my Twitch name, everything else, at gmail.com. And that's Shadow with an X, and then Phoenix is spelled weird. There will be a link down below in the video's description. I also want to talk about Patreon a little bit as well. So Patreon, donations, subscriptions on Twitch, all of that stuff you'll be getting these things with. Anybody who makes a donation, subscription, Patreon ship, anything like that, I'm going to do 3 things for you. You will get a street in City Skylines named after you. You will get a VIP parking space in the parking lots of my parks. And you will also get, since I've been playing Surviving Mars, I noticed you can now name the first colonists. So patrons, you'll be one of the first colony people to be on Surviving Mars in the next video for that. So if you have donated in the last month or anything like that and I haven't gotten to you yet, don't worry, I will. We haven't gotten the parking lot and stuff done for Crystal Gardens yet, and we haven't even started on it in this park, so it will be there. I've not forgotten about you guys. I appreciate the support. And of course, if you just like to enjoy my videos but you don't have the money to help support or anything like that, don't worry, I'm in the same boat. I don't really have a whole lot of money either. I only work part-time, so it's been kind of tough. But don't worry, just enjoy my videos, man. That's all I ask. You can also support me just by retweeting my stuff if you're following me on Twitter. Tell other people about my YouTube channel. Get me more subscribers. Just watch the videos completely through. Watch time is also important to me. All of that are great ways to help support me and the stuff that I do without actually giving any kind of money or anything like that. And it is highly appreciated. If you do donate or anything of that nature, if you do provide kind of some kind of monetary support, I greatly appreciate that. You have no idea how much it means to me that you think I am worth even $1, you know? If I make $1 a month, if, like, let's say 3 or 4 people subscribe to me on Patreon for $1, that is more than I made on YouTube in, you know, a month just doing YouTube monetization on my videos. And since I'm no longer a YouTube partner, I don't get that. So yeah, every little bit helps right now at the moment. All right, I have talked your heads off. I have showed you everything I have to show you. I hope you guys have liked it so far. Can't wait to show you what else I have in store for the park. And until then, adios guys. See you later. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.